Hello everyone, my name is Douglas Davis, down here in Fairfield, Texas. Had a little problem with my transmission in a 98 GMC Sierra 4L60E. Truck ain't really worth the money it'd cost to get somebody else to do it for me, but I plan on keeping the truck, and this is a must do it myself, because the logic in paying somebody else to do it, it's not worth it, because the truck ain't worth that much in value, but it's worth a lot to me. Even give the truck a name, Betsy. And hope my video on the problems that I've run across and things that I've learned by doing 3 other transmissions might help somebody else that has to tackle the same problem. There's a lot of pride that goes into doing it yourself anyway, and the challenge and the education. It's a very rewarding experience if you do it right. And if you're watching YouTube right now, trying to get some information, you're doing it the right way. You don't just step off in this without testing the water or knowing what you're up against. And I'll try to help you with some of the things I've run across. And let's get started. Okay, first thing, I'm just doing this with my cell phone, and if you want to do a YouTube video or something, you have something to help, just look right there. I got me a little bracket I can stick my cell phone in. It's hanging where if it falls, it's not too secure. It won't destroy. I don't want to destroy a $300 phone. And if it swings, it shouldn't hit nothing. But as you can see, I got a pretty good shop area set up. Got me a little real estate to work on, a little desk right there, put a board on. Give me a clean little work area to work on. Got me a little substation to clean on. And now I'm just doing a little detailing work while I'm fitting the drive shaft U-joint into the bearing, checking it. Just a little idea of what I got together. Got some room over there. Parts I bought. A little deal I got from Sears when I go back with it. 99 bucks there for a 3-ton jack, creeper, and 2 jack stands. Better grab on it. I read on the internet it was a good deal, and I got it. Got the creeper inside, but as you can see, the little jack stands, little things that I bought to help me out. But old Betsy here, she's 98 GMC, like I said earlier, and I'll go into detail on some of the things that I did when I was working on it. And of course, first I disconnected the negative. Didn't want to short out nothing, cause any more problems. From the top, looking down at it, I could see that the fuel line was going to be in the way. I elected right here, if I can get it, right here, I disconnected the whole fuel line. You probably don't have to disconnect the whole fuel line, just disconnect the 2 parts from the back, because the other part, it's bolted to the bell house, and then it's right in the way. Get it out of the way so you don't booger up none of these fuel lines. But I elected to get this out of the way, and you can probably get it out without just disconnecting a few lines. And right there, you can see the dipstick tubes pulled up out of the way when I yanked the transmission back. And there's some of the things that I did. You can see I got it on wheel ramps. Had to pull the starter. It's pretty easy with the wheel ramps. And right here's flex, a little mud shield that protects the flywheel and stuff. That's about all it is now with these full oil pans. But you have to take the deal off, and you can get to the torque converter, flywheel bolts. Right about there, there's 3 of them you got to disconnect. Up under here, you can see disconnected the transmission deal. Here's that fuel line I was talking about. That goes up there behind the transmission to the bell house, and you got to undo them bolts. best to do it from the top. And I don't think you had to take off that other bracket. But when I started, I took out the bottom bolts out of the bell housing, and then when I got around to the top, they were really hard, and went ahead and disconnected the transmission cooler lines. Those are 18 millimeter, and disconnected them from the radiator and the little bracket that hooks to the oil pan. So they're just flopping around. Don't want to booger up the transmission cooler lines. And worked on getting the wiring harness out of the way. But I think before I did that, I went ahead and jacked up the transmission and removed the cross member that holds up the back of the transmission, and removed it and dropped the transmission back. And the weight of the transmission pulling the engine down in the back give me a lot of room to work on them bolts. You can see it's pretty well straight shot, but when the transmission is pulling the motor down a little bit, you can get you a deep socket, a long extension, and a swivel on all those nuts and bolts and studs around the top of the transmission, especially around the starter, all them wiring shields and stuff. Good thing to know. Make it quick and easy. I disconnected the wiring harness. It's the only way I could see. Dropping the bell housing was the only way I could see a good way to take that cap off the transmission when it goes in the transmission. Took the whole speed sensor out. And I also elected to disconnect from the wiring the 2 oxygen sensors that are hanging down. Let's see, where's the oxygen sensor in the downpipe? Right there. Disconnected those, and I just flopped the wiring harness over there towards the catalytic converter. Didn't want to pinch no wires. And got all those bolts out of the top, accessory nuts and stuff. And that was after I then dropped the drive shaft and dropped the tail housing. It was pretty easy doing it in that order. Somebody on YouTube kind of give me an idea on how to do that watching a video. Just a few things you need to know on dropping the transmission. One of the things I did, I didn't have a jack. I just built me a ramp with cinder blocks and 2x2 bys and 4x and stuff. And I ratcheted the transmission back. Since it's just a one-man operation, that really helped. And transmission, it tried to catch on a little cross pipe on the exhaust, and the flywheel caught on the top of the bell house, and I had to rock it a little bit. But it came on down, ratcheted it a couple more times, then wiggled it, kicked it with my foot, and it jumped over the problems it was having up there. It wasn't too bad, but it came out all right.